People in the United States are waking up to word that former President Donald Trump has been hit with a second criminal indictment. Now, he's expected to face up to 7 charges in the special counsel's classified documents probe, and marks the first time that a former president has had to defend himself against federal charges. Mr. Trump is expected to be arraigned in federal court in Miami on Tuesday. His lawyer, Jim Trusty, says that the charges include conspiracy and obstruction of justice, among other charges. The former president took to social media to insist that he's done nothing wrong.
It's election interference at the highest level. There's never been anything like what's happened. I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person.
Well, this federal indictment is the second time that the former president has been charged with criminal offences this year. The Manhattan District Attorney charged him in April with 34 counts of falsifying business records arising from a hush money payment to an adult film star. Mr. Trump is currently campaigning to make a return to the White House in 2024. Legal experts say that the indictment won't limit his ability to run for the presidency again. For more, we have Will Denslow for us. He's live in New York. Will, what can we see happening out of Donald Trump's arraignment next week?
Well, we've heard from Donald Trump himself taking to social media. He says he's been requested to be at the federal courthouse in Miami at 3 p.m. local time on Tuesday. There he will be arrested. He will then be booked and processed. He'll then have to wait for his arraignment with a judge in court. It is then that he is expected, either Donald Trump himself or one of his attorneys, to then enter a not guilty deal, or a not guilty plea, rather. And we'll also get the first official sense of what exactly these counts are. Of course, there's been so much reporting, some of which you rightly mentioned. It's believed to be 7 counts that the former president is being hit with, relating to violations of the Espionage Act and obstructing a criminal investigation. We've heard from one of Donald Trump's legal representatives who's provided some information about what these charges are. He said that they do likely relate to the Espionage Act, obstruction charges, and making false statements. And of course, as you rightly mentioned, this is all a process Donald Trump has become quite familiar with, as it was just 2 months ago that he had to go through similar steps at a courthouse here in New York for those charges of allegedly falsifying business documents. After that appearance, he claimed that people in the courthouse were crying during those proceedings.
Well, legal experts are saying that this indictment's not going to impact his ability to run for the presidency next year. Will it or won't it?
Well, it'll certainly be a huge time drain for the former president, as he's expected to be busy campaigning, of course, between his court appearances, his obligations down in Miami, down in Florida, as well as his court proceedings here in New York. He'll be certainly taken away from hitting the campaign trail and that important duty for anyone that wishes to be president of touring around the country, making rallies on an almost daily basis. So just from the timekeeping point of view, it'll be very hurtful for the president. He was furious to know that the charges he faces going forward here in New York will really coincide with primary season in the United States. And when it comes to other implications, well, the bottom line is that if indicted, he will still legally be allowed to run for office and would be allowed to serve as president. Of course, logistically, how that would actually work out if he was behind bars still very much would be totally unprecedented and would remain to be seen. Of course, Donald Trump will hope that the charges will be dropped till then, of course, claiming that that is a hoax and that the justice system has been weaponized. Of course, when it comes to his chances of convincing the American people to still vote for him, of course, his opponents will say this is further proof that he is not fit for office. But as far as his supporters are concerned, this could be used as further ammunition that the system is essentially out to get him and that they should rally behind their candidate.
His lawyers, no doubt, working overtime on this one. Will, thank you very much for that. Will Denslow there, live for us in New York.